It's the Sean Widmer Podcast. It's a journal by someone that just really doesn't like to write.
Oh mio, look at this. A new episode of the podcast. Today we get to call one of my best buds, someone I'm very excited to talk to in general, excited to talk to him. Kelly's, what are you into? I believe we're going to head into the world of food or music, either one of those, but none of that matters. It's going to, but it doesn't matter nearly as much as a phone call to my buddy Johnny Dres. I love John. John's got great style. John's got great hair. I mean, we need to start there, but he's got great style. Let's give him a call. See if he can answer. I got a fashion question I've got to get off my chest today, and he's the only one who can answer it. It's embarrassing that I have to call him for it. Look at that ring. Come on.
Sean, my guy.
Johnny boy, you're on the podcast. Hi.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Yes. Okay,
Can you
good.
hear me?
Yes, perfectly. Okay. John Dres, you have the best fashion. You have the best fashion of the group. Would you agree of our group of buddies? You're the best. Come on. Who challenges you in the fashion world? No one, right?
I guess.
I
just try to wear what's comfortable.
And it works.
I'm built for comfort.
Okay, fair. Well, you do comfort well. And you text me the other day with something that was really important to me because it's a world that you rule, like you're the king of. I'm always very jealous of it. And I got worried because it's all I've got and I need to transition. You text me and said, "Dude, dunks are out. We're moving forward." And so I panicked.
Dunks are out.
Because John, all I've got, I'm not at this point of life anymore where I'm buying a lot of shoes. I just kind of am holding on for dear life with 3 little kids, and I just kind of go to work with baby puke on me. And so I don't worry about what I'm wearing. Mm-hmm. But all I have is dunks. So they've just stayed, since I got that text, they've just stayed in the closet. I'm not wearing them, dude.
Okay. I think they're probably not out. I think they're on their way out.
Okay. Which is fair. I mean, they've had their moment, right? They've had their moment.
They did. And I think it's the pandas ruined it.
Correct.
The dunk pandas ruined it for everyone because those were the ones that everyone wanted. And then all of a sudden it was like, everybody has them.
I made the terrible...
Everybody has.
Johnny, I made the terrible choice kind of when that wave was starting. I forget who had them. I don't know if it was you or someone in our group had them. And I thought, those are awesome. And you couldn't find them. I went to Vegas, and the Nike store there had one pair of 11.5s, and they were sold out of almost everything. I just hit it on a lucky moment. I bought them. I was so excited. And honestly, 4 months later, everyone had them, and I was just so bummed out.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bummer buy. Bummer purchase.
I actually never owned a pair of dunks.
Oh, of course not.
Never owned a pair.
Okay, what are we moving to?
I think what's replacing the dunks is Air Jordan 1 lows. And unless you're a sneakerhead, I don't know if people like walking down the street are really going to be like, those are that much different.
Yeah, I like them a lot more. I do like them a lot more. I think they look a lot cleaner. The dunks are just a little bit more bulky. It's like if you have the Jordan 1s, dunks feel like those old like Airwalk skater shoes that look like pillows were all over the sides of them. They just
yeah.
They seem so much bulkier. The Jordan 1s are so much more sleek. Now, the other thing I'm happy about with that, there's a ton of colorways on the Jordan 1s.
Unbelievable amount of colorways.
I felt like
that's when they start getting rare. Like different colorways start to get, more expensive.
Is there first of all, is there a pair you have that you're super proud of?
Air Jordan 1 lows. I don't have one that I'm super proud of for that. I just got the most recent ones, the Year of the Snake.
I need to look up. I'm looking them up because I'm sure I'm going to love them. Yeah, are they're the grays?
They kind of have like a minty shoelace and like
Oh, these are so
a
cool.
translucent sole.
These are cool,
So
John.
I got those ones.
Okay.
I was really pumped on those. I actually got a pair of Air Jordan 1 mids that are all denim because I love the Levi combo in the fours.
Yeah. Which you had those,
The four
didn't you?
denims, but never got those.
What denims?
They're on my like want list. I have Air Jordan 1 mid denims.
Okay, I love
which
those.
They have gum soles. Like they're awesome. I love those ones.
John has the coolest shoes. Just period. That's just let's just talk about this. He wore a pair to Andy's 40th birthday party that might be my favorite shoes I've ever seen on a human being. And I don't remember what those ones were, Johnny, but I thought about them for months after seeing you in those. They were
they're like taupe and yellow.
Oh.
Like I forgot which ones they are. They're called crafted. So those ones are like sewn inside out.
They're awesome, dude. They're so awesome.
So like typically on the front, like it's like the toe cap is usually sewn on the inside, and the crafted ones they're sewn on the outside, and then they have like an open seam around the back of the heel. So they look kind of like they're like being worked on.
Yes, that's what they look like, and the colors were awesome. I truly thought about them forever. I couldn't stop thinking of them. In fact, I wished we had taken more pictures of just the shoes because I would go through my phone and like miss my friends. I'm like, I miss John and Andy and Jeremy. I need to see them, so I'd go look at pictures and then I'd be like, yeah, but I really miss John's shoes. And I don't have a good picture of him. Okay, Johnny, let me ask you this because I think Air Jordan 1s might be the answer, but I would love another one besides this. Because Dunks had their moment, so there's been plenty of shoes that you and I have both bought over the years that have their moment, and it could be a year, it could be 3 years, but then they go away. Mm-hmm. Is there like an evergreen shoe outside of the Jordan 1s? Is there an evergreen shoe that you can get and be like confident that this is not going to get out of style and you're going to get like mocked? Because because we're old men who would hate to get mocked.
Yeah. To be honest with you, Air Maxes.
Which Air Maxes?
Any of the Air Maxes. I like the 90s.
Oh, yeah, Air Max 90s are awesome.
Just an ever classic. Like, you just can't go wrong. If you get a black and gray Air Max 90, you could wear that anytime.
I love the 90s. Trip always has a pair of... I think they're either 90s or I think they might be 97s, which are kind of close. The bubble is a little smaller on them. But I think Trip always has a pair of 90s, and you always have a pair of 90s. And I think that is, like you said, I think that's just a shoe you can have. You get a basic color. You're going to be good where it's a cool shoe, so that's awesome. And it's not going to be one that you're wearing and everyone's like, oh, dude, that was a shoe from 4 or 5 years ago, bro. What are you doing?
Right. And you can wear it like you could wear that on a hike.
Yeah.
You could wear it to walk up and down the Vegas Strip 2 times. It's like ergonomical. It's good for you.
Okay. Oh, look at that. Look at this guy.
You wear your Air Jordan 1s, you're going to be like, oh man, my feet are, the dog's barking.
That's true. What is do you have a shoe that you haven't mentioned that is your favorite shoe that you own? Maybe not one you wear a lot, but you own it and it's like, this is a cool shoe. I know the answer. I know the answer that outside of the ones I was going to say, I've got an answer for you after you give yours.
I have Air Jordan 13s, the playoffs. Those were that was one of the shoes that I hunted for years and I finally found and got, and I don't wear them.
Oh, those are awesome. I'm looking at them right now. Those are awesome. I didn't know you had those. I love those. I'm going to give you the ones I love that you have. I've never seen another person with them in my life. I've seen a lot of the shoes you have on more likely than not, like a hip hop artist Like Jack Harlow has the shoes like you have, or you'll have the same ones that like if Kendrick is going to show up to the Super Bowl again, like John has a shot at having those shoes. They're just cool shoes. But you have a pair of Nike boots I've never seen on any other person in my life.
Nike boots.
They're like almost like military boots.
Yes, those are like waterproof. They're like Nike Air Force Ones.
Yes, and that's what they are. They're crazy. I remember you wore them for the first time, and I was like, those are so unique.
I specifically got those to wear to Seahawks games.
Okay.
Because I was like, I want to have cool shoes, but I also need to be able to stand in a torrential downpour.
Right. They're the Nike Lunar Force One men's winterized.
Yeah.
And you have the brown ones. I believe those are the brown ones with the black toe. And I remember just looking at them and thinking, those are like, we lived in the Pacific Northwest where there's a lot of precipitation. And it was, you had cool boots for that moment. And that was when I was like, yeah, John's hit that level. He's at that level where he's now.
They're winter sneakers.
Yeah.
They're like winter sneakers.
Winter sneakers. Okay. Thank you for the shoe talk. I need to go get a pair of Jordan 1s. That's going to be what I get. Lows. I want lows. I make mistakes a lot of times and get highs or mids. I need lows. I just need a pair of lows. And if one of us ever gets the Jordan 4 denims, that's going to be the greatest moment, by the way.
Oh, the greatest moment.
You and I both love those shoes. Okay, dude, I'm so excited.
I love those shoes.
I'm so excited for, real quick, I'm so excited for our trip to Portland for golf. I'm so excited, Johnny.
Oh, man. I think about it every day.
Ditto, same thing. Do you have any new golf gear, any new golf stuff that I'm going to get to witness? Is there anything? Normally that's not the point of this trip, but sometimes you always bust something out that's cool.
I got a new golf bag this year.
Really?
I got a new golf bag. I took my old golf bag down to Arizona. Alaska Airlines decided to jump on it 75 times, so the legs were all bent. And so I got back and ordered a new golf bag, and it's a paint splatter, like our boy's jeans.
Like our boy, dude. Oh, it's a Muni Kids. It's Muni Kids vibes. You know I'm gonna be.
How you living?
You know I'm gonna be. How you living? That's still one of my favorite stories. We walk into this Muni Kids golf. They were like a golf apparel company. They're super cool. We're super excited, and the guy hits us with a "How you living?" and it revolutionized my thinking. It revolutionized my thinking on how to greet someone. I was like, I think I'm living pretty good right now. I think because I'm here in this store and it's cool.
Totally caught us off guard.
And then we overused it for 48 hours. It was great. Okay, I'm excited to see it. Paint splatter. That's going to be super cool. I'm excited. I'm excited about that. Are the Seahawks dead?
I mean, pretty much right now.
We got
Sam Howell's our quarterback. So
John, you might get some snaps, dude. You might want to get some
Whitworth. You want me to run some routes for you? You could get warmed up.
Yes, let's get your brother. Let's
have an open tryout.
Let's bust out some of the old Vandals clips of him throwing in the Kibbe Dome and send it in because it could be like an American Idol situation. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this. When we got rid of all our guys, and then today they sent out the notification like, "Hey, the Seahawks signed a linebacker I'd never heard of." I was like, "Uh-oh."
Oh. Fun.
It's not.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
it's a fun time to be a fan, though.
It is, and to
be John Schneider, you got to prove it.
Yeah, and you know what? I will give. This is probably credit to you. This is credit to you actually, because now that I think about it, if I went to a Seahawks game by myself, I was going to say going to Seahawks games is going to be fun no matter who's on the field. I'm realizing if I went by myself, it would be fun. I think I've been to almost every Seahawks game I've been to with you, and we just have a huge time. We always have a big time at a Seahawks game if you're a fan. So
big time.
It's too much of a big time sometimes, but a big time. The one that we went to that I will never forget. Well, I'll never forget any of them, but we went with Steven, and you guys sat separately from us, and it poured. Poured so much rain, and I think you guys were in the rain, and Steven and I were just under the overhang.
Yes.
And you guys got
It was
dumped
a playoff
on.
game.
Yeah, you guys got dumped on. And we were like, oh.
It wasn't Beastquake, but it was Seahawks Saints.
Yes, it
playoff
was.
game at home.
That was
Yep.
awesome. That was you guys
Oh, man, that was a good time.
You guys just got soaking wet. All right, dude. I appreciate you. I told you I'd keep you for 10, and I kept you for 15. I know you've got a lot of kids. I'm going to be calling you at some point with parenting advice because my kids have decided they've just decided to start beating the ever-loving tar out of each other, John, and I don't know how to stop it. I don't know how.
Ugh.
Like
I'm not good on that one either.
Just like, because part of you's like, okay, Huck, I kind of want you to be like, he's kind of just a boy, but also it's like, dude, you can't, like, you're picking on a baby. So at this point, like, you're not really a tough guy. You're just kind of a punk.
Real tough.
Like, woo,
buddy.
you pushed an 8-month-old over. Ooh, no way. Wow.
When you start trash talking and antagonizing a
Right, of infant
3-year-old.
Right, exactly. Stands over top of him and just kind of like flexes on him. All right, dude. I appreciate you, Johnny. I will. I'll talk to you soon, and I'm so excited to see you in a couple months.
Sounds good. Same, Sean.
Later, dude. Okay, there you go. There it was from the man himself. Jordan 1s, lows. I love them. John's got awesome shoes. John has great. I know he said he's built for casual. Dres, since forever, since I've known him when he was in early high school, maybe even junior high, he has always had cool style. And when he got out of, you're in high school, you're kind of just, he was an athlete in high school, and he and my cousin Ryan were just always in athletic garb, as kind of is the thing when you're a 3-sport athlete. You're just kind of always in, a Freeman football shirt, a Freeman basketball shirt. And so when he got into college, he started like to find it, and it was just that from that moment on, Dres always had the coolest like shirts, pants, shoes, hats. He's always got the coolest hats, and it's never changed. So there you go. Jordan 1s is the answer. Okay, I love talking to Dres. I miss that man. I'm that right there. You heard the voice of someone that I could talk to for. Man, when we go camping, so we go camping at Sullivan. We're not going to do Kelly's What Are You Into? This is Dres. This is a Dres pod. I don't get him on very often. He's a tough one to track down because he's busy. But that's someone who, and I hope everyone has someone like this in their life. He is the easiest person that I know to talk to, and I'm very fortunate to have some easy people to talk to with like him and Jeremy, Ryan, Andy, Trip. Like, I got some people in my life who are easy to talk to, but Dres is a chameleon in conversations, and not in a bad way, in the way that he will be actively engaged, actively interested in no matter what you're talking about, and has a good memory to remember what you talk about at the beginning, to bring it back up at the end to close conversations. It's crazy. But that guy, we'll go camping at Sullivan Lake, and the amount of nights I've had with him just talking until the wee hours, and you look at the clock and you're like, how is it 3, dude? And it'll be like that when we go on our golf trip. Like, you get with Dres, and it's awesome. So I'm very thankful for that guy. And he is one of one. Also, his brother could probably play quarterback for the Seahawks right now. They are in complete and total free fall. I guess it's not free fall, but complete and total rebuild. I have so many Seahawks thoughts, as they have just really decimated my life. They ruined my life last week, to the point where one of the bosses was in my office when Tyler Lockett got released, and then DK announced that he wanted to get traded. One of the big bosses was in my office, and I left the office. Like, this is me. I'm just being me. There was no way I was going to be part of the conversation that was happening about work. I had to exit and get some breaths. So then that happens. Then we lose Geno, trade Geno to the Raiders, and DK goes to the Steelers, and now we signed Earl Jenkins or something like that to a linebacker, and that was a big move today. Now, I'm recording this on Sunday night. This comes out Monday. There is a rumor floating around that Monday we're going to get a glimpse at the future of quarterback. Is it going to be Sam Howell? Is it going to be Aaron Rodgers? I hope not. Is it going to be Kirk Cousins? Is it going to be Sam Darnold? Who is it going to be? Andrew Dresback? Who is it going to be at starting quarterback? But it's just weird. Like, a rebuild sucks because this is now has the feeling of we are in 100% rebuild mode in Seahawks land, and that sucks because those aren't easy. And I don't think it's a thing where you go, okay, a team has entered rebuild mode, give them 4 years. That's not how this works, right? This process doesn't work like that. When you hit rebuild mode, you are now signing up your fan club and your fan base for a very long time of being very bad. The Seahawks barely missed the playoffs. They were last week 18. They are still in the mix. A couple early losses last season that were avoidable losses end up costing the Seahawks a Geno injury. Ends up costing the Seahawks a couple games. They find themselves struggling to get into the playoffs, where they win 10 games last year, which is ridiculous, and they hit the reset button. And that makes me nervous with a new coach. Also, if I'm just knee-jerking and not looking it up, DK asks for a trade, right? DK Metcalf asks for a trade. I don't remember a single person requesting a trade from the Seahawks when Pete Carroll was the coach until after we won the Super Bowl. Before that, people were just playing, and he was leading the team, and they could see clear vision, and they were building, and then they won the Super Bowl, and everyone wanted to get paid because they had just won the Super Bowl, and the defense all separated everywhere, and Earl Thomas double middle-fingered Pete Carroll, and it turned into the meme, or excuse me, the GIF, not the GIF, the emoji for pretty much all of my Seahawks chats. The second Earl Thomas double middle-fingered. We had double middle fingers on all of the chat threads. Even though we were Team Pete. But there was an implosion there, but it was after a Super Bowl win. They had hit the mountaintop, and then guys just wanted to get paid and couldn't get paid, and so they were mad at Pete, apparently, because they couldn't get paid, even though that's a different reason than Mike McDonald coming in, them barely missing the playoffs, not winning, barely missing the playoffs, and then guys are like, yeah, we're out. I don't see it. I don't see where we're going. Former Seahawks with Pete saw where we were going. Seems like the current ones don't see where we're going or something, and I'm a little nervous. And I think that's a fair place to be. Now, this is not a judgment call on Mike McDonald all the way yet because he's coached 1 year and won 10 games. I'm not mad about that. I would take that every year. I would take 10 wins every year, coach. But I'm very interested to see what they do now because the pieces are missing. An amazing wide receiver core has now been limited to one guy who's a freak. JSN is a freak, but he's it, right? He's it. And you got that. I mean, that's offense. So you got some good defensive players. And once upon a time, the Seahawks had a really, really good defensive team, and they smoked teams, and they beat the Denver Broncos by 1 billion points in the Super Bowl. So there is that. Okay, I got to go. Johnny, thank you for coming on. I love you, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know. You can leave comments over at Sean'sLife.com, on Spotify, and also on YouTube. So thank you. Thank you for doing that. And thanks to the Patreon people for keeping the lights on this podcast. I really, really appreciate you. If you are supporting this and you like this, that means the absolute world to me. Over at patreon.com/Sean Widmer Podcast. Thanks for listening.